Once upon a time, in a small village nestled among the hills, lived a young girl named Arya. Arya was a cheerful and kind-hearted girl who always had a smile on her face. She lived with her parents and 3 siblings in a modest house with a small garden. Arya loved spending time in the garden, tending to the flowers and vegetables that her mother had planted. She found joy in watching the plants grow and bloom, and it gave her a sense of purpose to contribute to her family's meals. She also loved spending time with her siblings, playing games, and going on adventures in the nearby woods. Despite their simple lifestyle, Arya's family was content and happy. They cherished their time together and found joy in the little things. They would gather around the table for meals, sharing stories and laughter. They would take walks in the countryside, enjoying the fresh air and beautiful scenery. One day, Arya decided to share her happiness with the rest of the village. She baked some cookies and walked around the village, handing them out to anyone she met. Her kindness and generosity brought smiles to many faces, and people began to talk about the happy girl who had brightened their day. As word spread, Arya's acts of kindness began to have a ripple effect in the village. Others began to follow her lead, spreading happiness and kindness wherever they went. The village became a happier and more harmonious place, with people looking out for one another and showing kindness and compassion. Over time, Arya's acts of kindness became a tradition in the village, and people would eagerly await her next surprise. She would bring flowers to the elderly, organize games for the children, and help out with chores for those who needed it. Her simple acts of kindness had transformed the village into a happy and caring community. As Arya grew older, she continued to spread happiness wherever she went. She became a beloved member of the village, and her legacy of kindness lived on long after she was gone. Her family and the villagers always remembered her as the girl who brought happiness to their lives, and her story became a reminder of the power of kindness and compassion. As Arya continued to spread happiness throughout the village, she began to notice something interesting happening. The more kindness she showed to others, the happier she felt herself. It was as if spreading joy and kindness had a positive impact on her own well-being. She started to experiment with different ways to bring happiness to others, such as organizing community events, volunteering at the local soup kitchen. Each time she did something kind for someone else, she felt a sense of fulfillment and joy that she couldn't quite explain. Arya also began to notice that her actions had a ripple effect on others. When she handed out cookies or gave someone a compliment, they would often go on to do something kind for someone else. It was like a chain reaction of positivity that spread throughout the village. One day, Arya's kindness even helped to bring 2 feuding families in the village together. They had been in a bitter dispute for years, but Arya had the idea to organize a community potluck where everyone had to bring a dish to share. Slowly but surely, the families started to interact with each other and share stories about their lives. By the end of the night, they were laughing and joking together like old friends. Arya's simple act of kindness had brought about a much-needed change in the community. As Arya continued to spread happiness and kindness, she found that her own life was becoming more and more fulfilling. She felt a sense of purpose and belonging in the village, and she knew that she was making a difference in the lives of those around her. Years later, when Arya was an old woman, the villagers gathered together to honor her and thank her for all that she had done for them. They shared stories about how her kindness had impacted their lives and how she had helped to shape the community into the caring and compassionate place it had become. Arya felt a sense of pride and joy as she listened to their words. She knew that her legacy of kindness would live on long after she was gone, and that made her happier than anything